Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have here a very special pen. This is the Visconti Alchemy, and this is special because it is a very expensive pen. This has been loaned to me by Michael at Manuscript Pens, and Manuscript are the UK distributor for Visconti. And you can just see that this pen is levitating there within this circle. And this is the pen stand for the Alchemy. And you can see there the pen itself. The pen has filigrees that represent the Leonardo da Vinci's alchemical boards that were found in Florence in the Lorenzia Library of the Medici's family. They are very symbolic and record the union of the four elements which gives origin to the quintessentia or fifth element. Both the central part and the caps are adorned with diamonds, and it comes with this dedicated pen stand that is also an inkwell. The pen stand is shaped as the spiritual representation of the circle of life, and here you will see a golden dragon eating the tail of a silver dragon, which is eating the tail of the golden dragon. And if I rotate it here, you can see the spine there that is on that dragon, and that runs throughout that dragon, and then you'll find it goes down to the tail, which again is eaten by the silver dragon, and this is the circle of life. And as you can see here, this pen does levitate quite nicely, so it's just moving slightly there as I handle this, and you can see the detail on these dragons. Now you can also see that this pen is levitating, so here with the silver cap you will see that the pen is actually touching, it's actually levitating through magnets. And then if I show you the other side of the pen, the golden side, which is the fountain pen, you'll actually see that it's levitating, so it's not actually touching the stand itself. So it is actually levitating there, which is quite remarkable. The inkwell is made of solid crystal and is a copy of some medieval magical pots used during experiments, which hold in secret rooms. Inside there are two small cavities to host two different kinds of ink. If I take the pen off, and I can show you the crystal in a little bit more detail here, and you'll see at the top there, it's very hard to see, but it says Visconti, made in Italy. And this is a very heavy crystal. Now, this stand does unscrew, so let me unscrew this. And then I will show you inside. Here, you actually have two inkwells. So you could actually put two different colours of ink if you so wished, or you could actually use it as a separate pen stand. And the cap on each end will actually fit in there quite nicely. So let me put this stand back on again. So this stand is a little bit sort of top heavy, and it's trying to get that thread to screw into itself. Here you go. That's screwing in much better there. And then if I show a little bit more closer up detail of these dragons, the scales on the dragons you can actually see is actually quite amazing. And how that, although that this is the circle of life, you can actually see the amount of detail that goes into this, and also the tails actually taper down. So let me show you the pen in a little bit more detail. So this is the Alchemy pen, and you'll see here it actually has some diamonds that are encrusted within that body there. So this is the reason why it's not a cheap pen, because diamonds are not cheap. And here you can see the fountain pen and the amount of detail that goes into this overlay. This is actually quite a lovely overlay, and all of the inscriptions are actually engraved into that overlay. The amount of detail that goes into this pen is actually quite amazing. And here you can see on the cap finial it has the standard Visconti cap finial there, and then here you can see the rollable cap, which is very similar to the fountain pen cap. And again, with all of these inscriptions going on that cap, it really is quite a remarkable pen, and also quite an expensive pen. And you can see why, because these diamonds, although they are black diamonds, they do sparkle there. So let me unscrew this, and you can see this, the silver side is the rollable, and it says Alchemy here. And you can see in the size of my hand, it's actually quite a good size. It is quite a heavy pen though, and I'll show you the weight. But you can also see that this tip actually narrows down quite a lot for the rollable. Now if I show you the fountain pen side, if I unscrew that, you will see it has a gold vermeil coloured section, and then it has a gold two-tone 23 cap palladium nib, and this is a fine nib, and it says Alchemy there on the section again. But it does have a little hole here, and that hole actually intrigued me a little bit to start with, and I was thinking, how do you fill this pen? So let me show you here. It's very, very difficult to actually see this, so let me try and get it on camera a little bit better. If you watch the hole there, as I rotate the rest of the pen, it opens up, and what you do is you eyedropper ink into what effectively is the section of the pen to ink the pen up. So there's no way of actually easily cleaning the pen out or easily sort of checking how much ink that you have left in this pen. But it is, obviously, because it's a two-sided pen, very restricted in terms of the amount of ink that the pen will actually hold. But you can see there in the size of my hand, it's actually quite a good size. But again, it is quite a weighty pen. So I think let's do a size comparison. We'll do a weight check. We'll do a pen comparison. So here, you can see it's around about 153 millimeters in length. And the cap is around about 63 millimeters in length. And this cap is, again, around about the same. So I think let's uncap the fountain pen, and then we'll do a length check here. We're looking at around about 146 millimeters in length. So that's quite a long pen. And then we'll just do another check on the rollable side. And that is around about 145 millimeters in length. So let's do a weight check. So the complete weight of the pen is just under 81.5 grams. So you can see this is not a light pen at all. The weight of the fountain pen cap is 25 grams, and the weight of the rollable cap is 26.5 grams. So the rollable cap is actually more weightier than the fountain pen cap. And then the pen completely uncapped is just under 28.5 grams. But as you can see here, this pen really is quite remarkable. I've been offered this pen by a number of retailers over the years, and I've always asked what the price of the pen was, knowing what the full retail price is. The full retail price is £7,000, but none of the retailers have ever come back to me. But you can see here the detail on this is quite remarkable. So here you can see it just placed back in the stand, and it will rotate, and the pen will not actually come apart. It will actually stay in situ within this circle of life pen stand. So let me do a comparison with other pens. So from left to right, we have the Visconti Belgica, we have the Visconti Ecstasy d'Oud, we have the Visconti Il Magnifico, we have the Visconti Camelot, we have the Visconti Last Templar Jacques de Molay, we have the Visconti Alchemy, we have the Visconti Speakeasy, we have the Visconti St. Basil in fountain pen, and a Visconti St. Basil in rollable, and we have the Visconti Luxor Obelisk. So what do I like about the pen and what do I not like about the pen? I love that it actually has real diamonds within the pen, and I love these overlays and the amount of detail that actually go into these overlays and the inscriptions within it. I love that the pen is also quite weighty and quite lengthy as well, but you can just see there that sort of texture in terms of the amount of detail and the engraving that actually goes on in both of those caps is actually quite nice. Now, this is an expensive pen. As I mentioned, this is not a cheap pen, and as much as I would love to add this to my collection, it unfortunately is way out of my price range. But it is a pen that I've been intrigued about for a long time, and I never thought I'd actually get to either see it in the flesh, let alone actually review the pen. I'd like to thank Michael from Manuscript Pen Company for loaning me this pen for review. Manuscript Pens are the UK distributor for Visconti, and I'd like to thank Michael again for loaning me this pen. This is a very expensive pen, and you can visit Manuscript Pens at manuscriptpen.com. Now, because this is a very expensive pen, I am not going to ink this pen up, because this pen does have to go back to manuscript in the condition that I received it in. So this is just an unboxing. I will not be doing a writing sample of this pen. Otherwise, I'm going to have to pay for the entire price of this pen. So that's it. That's my unboxing of the Visconti Alchemy. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye bye.